All right, welcome. This is the tour of the office. I'm just going to do it handheld here and we'll see how it goes. I think that works the best. So let's just walk in and do a little bit of a quick view. I do have a fan going on in here. If you don't know, it's hot in the state I live in, so that's just the way it's going to be. I'm going to start over here at my desk and then we'll kind of work our way around, wake up my computer here. This is where I spend pretty much, well, most of my time when I'm up here, obviously. This is where I do all of my video editing and some gaming, which is what I have my gaming PC turned on right now. Yes, I know there's cords everywhere that could be put away way better. I'll get to that one day. I do also have a Mac. That's actually really what I make most of my videos on at the moment. That's what my microphone is set up to, but at one day I'll probably switch over to where I'm just using one computer for everything. So this is just on an arm. This just jumps forward. This microphone, I know some people have asked, is a Samson G-Track Pro. Is it good? Yeah, I like it. I got it for free from a friend, and it's done the job very well for over a year, so no need to change it really at all. If you guys don't know, Mrs. Trion and I really love Lego. This is one of a few Lego sets that we got when we first got married. We used to do it a lot more, but Lego's expensive. We have other things that we do now, but we still do always love Lego. So this classic spaceship set is really special to me. I've got some of the collectible minifigures as well that go with it. I believe the pink one, I actually think that one came in a different set. The brown one, I've got Benny from the Lego movie here, as well as one of the little babies in there. You can kind of see it. So this is just such a fun ship. I've been kind of looking at downsizing our Lego collection, but this thing is just, it's so sleek and so clean and just so swooshable, but I don't really have a place for it right now. My ultimate plan is to hang it up on the ceiling somewhere. That way it can just kind of float over everything else, but we'll get to that at some point. This here is actually the first piece of fan art I ever received from the channel, and it is from my good friend, Bob the Doctor. He even put his age on there, which you can't see, but it's around the 27 age. So he sent me this Optimus Prime, which I absolutely love. The computer, as we've seen before, if you don't know, I really like castles and I really like medieval characters and whatnot. Over here is where I keep two of my most significant figures that I have. Earthrise Hoist, just because I love Hoist, as well as this Mega Blocks, oh man, Mega Constructs, Halo, Arctic Pilot, I think is what it's called. The original one of these figures is one of the first really kind of Mega Constructs figures I ever had. I used to have a pretty big collection of these Halo figures. I don't anymore, but this is the one that I kept just because I love him the most. PlayStation 5, which I've had for a long time, even though I do have a PC and play games on it, I still play some games on it from time to time. Some controllers, which are on a dock, which is not plugged in, funnily enough. Again, really love medieval knights and whatnot. I'm going to cover what's here on the desk a little bit later. Here is kind of the main attraction of the room. One thing that I will say right off the bat is it is my goal at some point to cover this back window with something that's really going to block the light. I don't open this window. I don't really like the way it looks with all these figures, so I need to get probably a black type of sunshade that can cover this whole thing. But again, it's not super important right now. At the top is what originally was just my Optimus shelf. It really was just a bunch of Optimuses, but then I had some Megatrons and thought, you know what, let me do kind of a half and half. But I don't have as many Megatrons as I do Optimuses. So of course I had to add in some, Nemesis Prime, Galvatron, Scourge, Motormaster. They kind of work. Funnily enough, I grabbed this Motormaster, animated Legacy Motormaster he was like $10 on clearance. Grabbed him and said, yep, that's good enough as a Nemesis Prime to kind of go against my animated Optimus. And sure enough, now we know that we're getting an actual Age of the Primes animated Nemesis Prime. These names are too long. So, and then I also have Optimus Primal up here from Rise of the Beasts. Again, it's kind of hard to see with the light coming in from the back. I do need to get a Kingdom Optimus Primal again. I used to have him, but yeah, this is kind of the collection. Just been collecting Primes and Megatrons, I am definitely excited for Studio Series 86 Megatron. That way I can kind of put him right over here. That way they kind of line up. I do still love, I think, Earthrise Optimus Prime the best. And Siege is over there. These are both great figures, but I think I like this one just a little bit more, but I do love this one. All right, the comics. These are not all the comics I have. And yes, I know what you're going to say, Delta. This comic is larger than these, so it should be over here. I know, but I just haven't moved it yet. So lots of different comics here that I've collected. When it comes to collecting comics, I try my hardest to get the hardcover if it's available. Hardcovers are just nicer. You can lay them flat. I talk about this in my review for the Transformers Book 1 product, but I just like collecting comics in the hardcover format when that's possible. I am fine getting trade paperbacks, especially when comics don't come in hardcovers, such as Canary, Do a Power Bomb, this Beta Ray Bill from Daniel Warren Johnson as well, Space Mullet, God Country. So many of these don't have hardcovers, so of course I will collect them in trade paperbacks. There's some things in here that are probably not going to stay on the shelf. Void Rivals, I will probably donate or sell off once I get in Book 1 of Void Rivals, which I will also be getting the G.I. Joe Book 1. There's some other ones as well. Paper Girls is a series that I need to read through. I have the first 3 trades, but they do make really nice hardcover editions, and they also make a compendium. I can't decide. As well with the Umbrella Academy, I read through these. They're fine. It's not something that I necessarily feel like I have to keep. So, and if The Moon is Following Us from Daniel Warren Johnson does get a hardcover, which I hope it does, this will be sold off and I'll replace it. I try not to have multiples of the same thing, but it is hard. It is really hard. If you're wondering why Ultra Mega is up here, it's because I'm currently reading through it. This was a suggestion from the wonderful Moonbase 3, and this is a really weird comic. It's really, really weird, but I kind of like it. So we'll just have to see how I feel about it in the end. Transformers 1 movie novelization, as well as the Steelbook for Transformers 1. I can't really pull it out there without messing up too much, but that's kind of the top of the shelf. Going down below is 2 different display pieces. Over here is where my 13 Primes will be. I know what you're going to say. Delta, he is not one of the 13 Primes. I know, but I don't have any more Primes at the moment, and so he gets to stand over there. Love these guys, can't wait for more. This is kind of the aligned continuity, War for Cybertron, blah, 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 whatever shelf. You know, I've got these 3 figures. I really want to collect more of the War for Cybertron Gamer Edition figures. Technically, you know, Megatron is up here, but I decided just to put these 3 guys together along with the aligned continuity novels behind them. Why not? Down below is stuff from a past life. If you don't know, I used to do photography and audio engineering. I still dabble in it here and there, but not as often as I used to. And then over here, hopefully this isn't too bright, is my very small Beast Wars shelf. Depth Charge is probably my favorite Transformer of all time, and that's a really great story that my wife and I were able to find that figure. And then she actually got me Transmetal Tarantulas as a gift one time. And I have a Beast Wars comic back there. It's not significant in any way. I just happened to find it, so it went together on the shelves. Empty shelves below and some more boxes. This one is probably the most important, and it's because some figures that I just don't have space to display right now. That's where they live. Some more Lego sets that my wife and I have collected. Hopefully that fan is not too loud. These are some of the ones that she built and she really likes. And then up here is the Blockies display. Now here's the thing. I bought the first 4 waves of Blockies right when they came out. And I loved them. And I still do love them. I have not caught up on getting the Transformers 1 figures. There's actually 2 waves of those, as well as, I think it's wave 6 that comes with more IDW characters. It comes with Swoop. It starts off the Insecticons. I obviously need to catch up because I have a lot less Decepticons than I do Autobots, but I'll just give you kind of an overview of what I've going on here. If you've read the Skybound comic, then you probably know what Cliffjumper's trying to do here. I'll try and focus in on him. But love Blockies. They really are fun. I love the fact that they're all interchangeable. Every now and then I'll take them all apart and just kind of, you know, have a fun time mixing and matching. The Decepticons over here Starscream holding Megatron, even though Megatron is right here, with an additional Ironhide that I just happened to have. He needed to shoot somebody with Shockwave, who's standing back there. This is not lore accurate. And of course, Tarn in the back, always grumpy as ever. And I was able to get the shiny Shockwave as well as Soundwave. My camera's not autofocusing, my apologies. So that was very fun. On the sides here are some comic books. So I had a short on this channel, on the Delta Comics channel where this video lives, talking about these. These are plate racks from IKEA. You're supposed to put plates in them. But I saw them and was like, I could probably put comics in there. So these are just some of my bagged and boarded comics. Obviously, at the time of this recording, issue 21 is the most recent issue. But as you kind of flip through, I have other issue 21s, issue 20, that's issue, what is that? 18. I have some Energon Universe ones back there. I just absolutely love that cover. So a lot of different assorted things. That one is a special issue from the Transformers store in, I believe it's in London. I might be wrong, but Bob the Doctor also sent me that, wonderful friend. Over here on this side, I'm going to turn off this fan real quick, just in case it's too loud, is my Extremity collection. Extremity is a really good series by Daniel Warren Johnson, which I do have. Sorry, I'm crawling on my knees. Here, I have a hard copy edition of that. But I really, really love these single issue designs. They're just really important to me. They're really pretty. And so I have a collection of as many as I could get. So I have 6, 5, 4, 7. These are out of order. 8, 9, 10, and then 11. So I'm missing 1, 2, 3, and 12. So almost there. But yeah, these are just absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous covers by Daniel Warren Johnson. All right, let's move up to the second last thing, which I have a lot of IKEA Kallax shelves, of course. Down here, just a bunch of boxes. Let me refocus since the autofocus isn't working anymore. Just a bunch of boxes. Just like single issues of comics, I don't collect them. And I don't keep toy boxes. And yet somehow here they are. Some boxes for figures I don't even have, like Alita, and there's some more up in there. I keep them. I don't know why. Some empty shelves. And then if you don't know, I'm going to turn this fan back on because it's getting hot. If you don't know, I'm actually a big board game guy. So I have a channel where I used to cover board games all the time. I don't really anymore. I don't play these as often as I used to or as much as I want to, but I love board games. And so this was kind of my hobby before collecting comics and before collecting specific Transformers was board games. So all these board games are games that I think are great and are worth keeping, and they're just a whole lot of fun. I won't go through all of them, but up here you can see, there's actually the case for the microphones I'm using. You can see some more Legos. Let me refocus here. These are the Lego sets that my wife and I really like. These were all Christmas presents that we got for each other. This is the Blacksmith's Keep, I don't know if it's called that, as well as the Lion Knight Castle, which normally lived over there where the Blockies live, but it got moved up here and split into 2 different sections as it can. So that's a whole lot of fun to have there. Up above, we have just a few extra Lego sets, obviously. Big photography guy, so I have that. Bionicle is near and dear to my heart. That my first YouTube channel ever was covering Bionicle stuff, so having that is really nice. The Ghost here is, man, this is such a special set to me. Star Wars Rebels is not a show I grew up with. It's not a show that I even watched when it came out. I'm going to bring the camera down here a little bit. The Clone Wars was kind of my thing. But I watched Star Wars Rebels during the pandemic, and I really fell in love with it. And again, my good friend, once again, Bob the Doctor, enjoyed the show so much alongside with me that he and his friend bought a copy of the original Ghost, which at the time costed like $300-400. I don't know how much it costs now. And sent it to me, not only with the figures that it came with, but the entirety of the Ghost crew. This Sabine up here is one that he sent. I think this is a newer version of Sabine from the Ahsoka show. I don't know. But it was just, it's such an amazing gift. It has such a special place in my heart and story. And I also have, let's see if I can grab, yeah, I also have a Thrawn minifigure to go with it, an original Thrawn minifigure. So that's got a special story to it as well. I'll probably tell that another time. BD1, love this guy, great. Here's the tall neck from Horizon. Is that what it's called? Horizon Zero Dawn? Yeah, beautiful set. And then here actually are some minifigures of, come on, let's focus, myself there in the middle, Mrs. Trion, and Bob the Doctor 27, good friend. These are ones that he and I put together. So speaking of Mrs. Trion, that's what this final section of the room is. This is kind of her corner of the room. We got a dog bed over there for the dogs. We've got this big chair that can be pulled out to be a sleeper, as well as this Lego Orchid set, which was one that I gifted her. It was kind of the start of our Lego journey. I'm actually going to turn this on. And some books that she likes to read. So that is the office. There is this last section over here, which I wanted to talk about, and that is these comic books. These comic books do not have a home yet. They don't have a place to go yet because they are comics that I have to read through. I have some duplicates of Extremity here. I'm always telling people on my channel I don't collect singles, and yet here we are, me collecting singles. Some of them carded, some of them not. You can watch different shorts on the Delta Comics channel on how I got these, what I'm reading, and whatnot. These over here, ooh, hit my arm there, are IDW 2.0 comics. If you don't know, Transformers comics, I find very hard to find in the wild. Really hard. A place here in Texas that I love to go to is Half Price Books. They're a used bookseller. And I have found in my lifetime maybe 5 Transformers comics. In my lifetime. Across maybe 20 Half Price Books. Mrs. Trion goes out one day and she finds a Half Price Books that I haven't been to in a long time, and they have like 40 plus comics of Transformers. So I asked her to pick up a few from IDW 2.0. This one, mainly the reason I asked her to pick these up is because I love the cover art. I love the cover art of Optimus here. This kind of pre-Decepticon symbol one is also really great. She wanted to pick these two up because she really liked the design, and then she went ahead and also picked up the full story of Transformers Escape. I'm pretty sure this is full story. I'm pretty sure it ends at issue 5. So that's where these exist. I need to get a comic box to put these all in. I have one on order that a friend of the channel, Carl's Collection, told me I should get, as well as what my plan is to take some of these over there that I showed off. Hopefully I'll be able to meet Peter Cullen and Frank Welker, get those signed. That way I can then have them framed and put up on the wall above the monitor. But yeah, that's the room. There's other things, drawers that I'm not going to go through, or a closet. But yeah, that's the room. That's where everything is made for the channel. We got toys and comics and more toys and board games and more toys and probably too many toys and not enough comics. But that's where all of this magic happens. And you can kind of see me in the reflection. And my computer's not coming on for some reason. There we go. Great work, Delta. Thanks, guys. I'll see you later.